Tenders in preparation. The overview page is the main tender page. It consists of a number of sections and information widgets to explain what still needs to be completed. The first section is the tender properties. This section shows you the general information, most of which was entered during tender creation. The second section is the internal roles. This is where you add users and set mandatory approval roles. Click on a mandatory role to open the user list. All users that are in the unit will be listed. If the system option is switched on, users from other business units can also be added. Select the user and click the icon to move them to the approver list. The user who is listed at the top will be the first person to approve. Click on a mandatory role to open the user list. All users that are in the unit will be listed. If the system option is switched on, users from other business units can also be added. Select the user and click the icon to move them to the approver list. The user who is listed at the top will be the first person to approve. To update roles or add new users, click the Advanced Role Manager link. Click the Settings icon to add or remove a user role. To add a new user, select the user from the drop-down list. The Role Manager will appear, and a role can be assigned. Users can also be added from different units if the option is switched on. If any default role has been configured, the user will automatically be added to the tender with that role. The next section to complete is the documents. Any document that is incomplete and needs the user's attention will have an alert icon next to the document name. Open the document to see the document tree and contents. As this tender was created from a template, the document structure is created and the content added. Headings that need attention will have a pencil icon next to the heading name. If anything needs to be edited, click in the section and edit the contents. The system will autosave any changes that have been made. Any sections that have been edited need to be approved before the tender can be published. Depending on the document permission, the user will see either a submit or an approval button. If the user is asked to submit changes, then an approver must approve the changes in the document. Individual sections can be submitted or approved by clicking the Approve icon next to the section in the document, or can be batch submitted by clicking the button at the top of the screen. While the sections are being approved, an awaiting approval icon will show next to the heading name. When all of the sections have been approved, the pencil icons and alert icons will disappear. Next, the vendor requirements need to be added. The four main responses are: entering a delivery date, comply or not comply, entering a text response, or entering a price. If a requirement is set, the vendor must enter a response, otherwise they cannot submit their bid. After the requirement has been set, it will be shown at the top of each heading in the document. Go through each document in the tender, add headings and sections, add new or edit existing content, and set requirements. Use the tools at the top of the document to set heading and section numbering. Use the Section Tools sidebar to create notes, set individual section properties, or add new sections from the library. These will be covered in a separate video. After each document is complete, the alert sign next to the document name will disappear. When all of the alert signs disappear, the tender is nearly ready to be published. All that is left for the minimum requirements to publish is to invite vendors. In the vendor section, select an individual vendor from the list, then add the vendor users. If a panel or trade has been set up, multiple vendors and users can be added all at once. After the vendors have been added, the tender can be published. Any publication approvals will need to be completed before the tender is published.